Hello, I'm Llolth and this Minecraft video is something I've not done in years. In fact, I privated most of my old Minecraft videos because they were, as the kids say, super cringy. Nonetheless, I wanted to show you off what I've been doing, and that is a Temple of Llolth underneath an abandoned fortress. For the abandoned fortress, skip to this timestamp. For Llolth's temple, go here. And for the torture room in particular, click this. Now, Llolth, in case you didn't know, is a chaotic evil deity from the Dungeons and Dragons tabletop RPG series, and she's a masterpiece of work, but since my skin is obviously a drow, it seemed like a very suitable thing to theme myself after. I inherited the site of this build from a friend whom I know from Slashcraft days. He began building the Mines of Moria over here, but then got sick of it and moved on to other projects. The facade is built by him, and so is the main hall inside, but over time I have made it my own with lots of mixed textures and missing blocks and various plants to give it a more abandoned, ruined quality. I have tried to play around with darkness in this build and use it to my advantage. I imagine that this place was once a fortress, which was then overrun by drow, who carved out the area underneath and made it theirs. I think they got in through the nether, and as you can see, one of the portals is broken by the defenders of the fortress during the invasion. However, they weren't fast enough for the second one. Thus, the place was gone by the end. There's this massive abandoned library. Over there is the back door, which opens up to my tree farm. The library has recently been experiencing some activity in the form of someone coming in and lighting up some of the areas, such as this enchanting room and the dingy little brewing corner over here and the reading corner up there. In fact, the place has been so abandoned that, as you can see, a lot of the bookshelves are now empty, and one of the walls has collapsed, letting in some wonderful natural light. With the shelves around having been decayed. Speaking of that dingy little alchemy corner, it does have a little secret to it. Oh shit. Yeah. It does do that sometimes. Let me just go through the back door. Okay, much better. So, anyway, it has a little secret. a secret alchemy lab, which I think was inhabited by the pre-drow invasion alchemist, who might have even hidden out in here for a while after the invasion. I'm not sure if he got away or not. So this is Rick, and this is Astley. They're quite harmless. The layout of this particular spot is actually based on an actual medieval alchemy lab in Prague. It even has what I would consider the equivalent of the stuffed crocodile, though in this case it's the stuffed ender dragon. This hole here was all naturally generated. And I have done a little break from the evil drow persona in order to save a pair of foxes from the middle of the sea. So, let's see. That's Todd, their kid. That's Red Ball. And over there is Vixen. I've also set up some farms, which are manned by drow, I suppose, and they will be automatic if mob griefing wasn't turned off, but they still work as regular farms. The beam of the beacon has been set up so that it only works during nighttime and not at daytime. It gives this nice strength 2 bonus because and it turned off. You can see that there's daylight coming on. Because I feel that since this place is claimed to worshippers of Llolth, who are subterranean in nature, then they'd be feeling much more at ease during nighttime. That's the bonus. And downstairs we are entering Drow country. And here we go. Welcome to the Temple of Llolth. In fact, let me turn the brightness down just a little bit. And let's see. Yeah. And over there, we have some viewing platforms for people to watch the ceremonies. Over here, we have some captured prisoners waiting to be sacrificed. So until then, you can just, trade with them. The altar is in the shape of a spider. In fact, there are spiders everywhere. Spiders on the wall, the spider on the ceiling. Let me turn the brightness up a bit. Again. I think this is the best part of this build, to be honest. I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And the support beams are in the form of driders, who are these basically spider drow centaurs. There are 8 sacrificial fires, so 8 high priestesses, high matrons, can throw sacrifices in there during ceremonies such as gold, jewels, various magical items, and in the middle platform, live sacrifices can be made. In fact, the sacrifice materials are over here: Llolth ceremonial dagger and flint and steel in case the lights go out. Appeasing Llolth isn't that difficult. I mean, all you have to do is be a high priestess, read from the text, and present the sacrifice like so. Moving on. Since the drow are basically sadistic, awful, chaotic evil, mostly chaotic evil slavers, then this build didn't feel quite complete without a proper torture room, which is quite gruesome, but I don't consider myself a twisted person, but the fictional creators of this build are. In fact, it was really fun to design all these things, though I can't take credit for all the designs. Over here we have a spider bit. Sansa spider, no spider. It seems to have suffocated in a wall, which is a shame. This is quite self-explanatory. I got this one off Reddit. This here is a workstation for the torturer. The person is strapped in here. There's pliers, quite self-explanatory, and an arrow of harming for poking people with, and an arrow of healing in case you poke them too much. This thing here is supposed to be like one of those bamboo torture devices where you strap the person onto a thing and the bamboo shoots grow through them. This is a stretcher, also quite self-explanatory. It uses the new grindstone blocks, which I'm very, very, very fond of. This is what I call the sink or swim contraption. Basically, the captive is forced to wade water for days on end or get eaten alive. Here's two sets of stocks, one without a person, one with. And with these two, I had to get some help from an admin to place some barrier blocks. That's the wheel, once again with these. This is also quite self-explanatory, but what I'm really fond of with this is the pulley system. I've left a groove in the ceiling for the contraption to be moved, and decorative lever over here for rising and lowering and generally moving it. There's a couple more over here for, like general hanging people from. And that's pretty much it, actually. This build is still a work in progress. Still a work in progress, and I hope to keep expanding it once the Nether update comes on. I still have that whole side to be filled up either by some kind of living quarters, maybe dig it out to look like some kind of underground chasm with the new blocks that we'll soon have available. I could probably design like a really cool underground, like Underdark mushroom kingdom, with fungal lights and all those other things. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.